Peace, everybody. Keme here. Just wanting to give a little brief demonstration today. I just want to talk about interdependent and dependent relationships. Uh, there's a definite fine line between the two, and there's so much confusion in relationships these days that I want to build on with you guys. Um, I also want to go into the transferring of energy when it comes to your mate. Um, so a lot of people won't get things confused when it comes to dealing with your partner. And one thing we want to definitely understand here when it comes to transferring of energy is that it can be very, very serious and very detrimental to our health. Um, a lot of these things I'm speaking on, like from experience. And as I grow, I know, I change, and I share with the rest of the world the lessons that we, have to come here and learn. We're going to keep being given lessons until we learn them all. So, why not learn every one of them as much as we possibly can and not repeat certain lessons. The more lessons we learn on this plane, the stronger we become mentally. In your your thoughts, your consciousness. So we're here to raise the consciousness of man, okay? But, back on my topic of interdependent relationships and independent relationships. You have so many of us that, as women, that say, oh, I'm independent, and you got your girl Beyonce promoting it. Oh, we're so independent, we're so independent. But then she goes home to her man while you sitting there looking crazy. Independent, without a man, without a lot of women are jaded and bitter, and it's just crazy. So, there's nothing wrong with you being independent when you don't have a man. There's nothing wrong with the guy being independent when he doesn't have a sister woman, but there is a big, epidemic with women being independent in relationships and thinking that they have to do it all on their own. However, I'm going to tell you where that stemmed from, because you have these independent women who end up with these guys who are codependent, and it just doesn't match. If you're going to be codependent, you should be codependent on each other, not just one person carrying the weight of the relationship. And with a lot of sisters that I have dealt with, and some of the situations I have went through with myself, where a guy comes into the relationship and he's expecting you to be his mama. He wants you to take care of all the bills, the children, and the household, while he plays video games with his friends or goes out to smoke weed and, just like whatever, and that's not the foundation of a relationship. And it sure is not a foundation of an obligation or a marriage. So we want to tackle those issues, because it is a problem. In a lot of households, you can't just leave it up to the women, brothers, to care for you and their children alone. Like, she gave birth to your children or the next guy's children, and she needs help. As a man, it is a man's duty to govern his household, protect his household, and help to provide for his household. It's a woman's job nowadays to also support her household, keep after the duties of her household, and to teach her children. But the husband is a manager, and he's supposed to manage all that and make sure that the household is balanced by, uplifting his woman and keeping her balance to where she won't have to do everything by herself. Because if she has to do everything by herself, then hey, she'll end up thinking that she's independent. She'll go into relationships thinking that she has to do it all on her own because that particular guy has never helped her, never gave her the spiritual support or balance that she needs to be that woman in her household. However, women, you need to understand, sisters, that you set the tone for your relationships, and you must, require certain things as a queen, as a Candace, so that a guy could come in the picture. He know that either he's going to meet standards, beat standards, or move out of the way, so the next man can do that for you in your life. It's very important that you value your self-worth and not wait around for somebody else to validate how you look, your mental stability, any of that. You need to be able to validate that on your own. You need to be able to love yourself enough, to where nobody has to validate you. The love that is given from another man to you is an added value to what you already are. For the brothers, when a woman comes in, she is to add value to who you already are. Happiness and love is something that you should already have created within yourself. So anybody that comes along is to add value, not take away from, or to give solely alone, but to add to. We are additions to each other. We are, like my mate would be my 45. I would be his 45 to our equal square. We have to make sure love is our first principle when dealing with each other, because it's so important. And if we're, trying to do everything on our own and not relying on each other, who are we relying on other than those who wish to govern our relationships for us? Going into being interdependent means that you both are equally uplifting each other to the highest height of humanity, sharing the bills with each other, sharing responsibilities in the household. I don't think that it's just a man's or a woman's job to clean up the home. I think the upkeep of the home represents the mental stability of both partners. If your house is a mess, your house will be a mess. If everything outside of us is a reflection of what's going on inside of us, so we definitely have to take account of that. We also live in an era now, and it's just my opinion, you can take it as truth or you can leave it. It really doesn't make me a difference. However, with this being said, when we live in an era of time now where there cannot be a one-income household, I think that there should be a two-income household where the man and the woman are equally putting in the pot. And that only just makes it better for the both of you, to equally put in the pot and to do things as a family. I also noticed that a lot of families don't eat at the dinner table anymore. They're scattered all around the house, stuck in front of a TV, developing calories, weight, stress, and a whole bunch of other things. So I think that it's very important to, take time out with your family and eat at the family table. I don't necessarily believe in that, a man should get a plate before the children or vice versa. That's just bull crap to me, because if you're eating at the family table, everybody is equally getting their fair share of food. I just think it's oblivious that people would try to determine who eats first. If you're a family and you're one, you're all going to eat first. Eating at the family table to me is healthy on the social stability of the household. You know what's going on with your children, you know what's going on with your mate, and if there are problems going on, it's good to bring it to the table, and fix those problems while nourishing your body with water, with food, and things of that nature. But if you're eating all over the house and one child is out with their friends all the time and nobody is, meeting in the middle, then, it stirs up problems, where things may be going on at school and you don't know what's going on with your child, So I think it's very healthy to do things as a family, do things as a unit. If the house is divided, it cannot stand. And let love be your first foundation